like that title of family movie, but this is truly a family movie, not just because it's about a family, because the whole family can enjoy it.
Well, that's the goal. It should be a date movie for the entire family, you know. And as a kid growing up, and we talked about this before, like on Saturday morning, they'd run cartoons, and I'd watch Bugs Bunny with my father, and he'd laugh at certain jokes, I'd laugh at the other jokes, but it was like a real connective moment. I'm sitting there with my father and my mother, and we're laughing at different things, but we're doing it together. And so it just felt like Boss Baby was the perfect movie to really play up not only the comedy, but this kind of underlying heart emotion that most people can relate to. So, you know, we have Alec Baldwin. He can play to both kids and adults, and the style of the movie is very much like an animated film of the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So it's a lot of physicality, and there's a lot of goofiness that kids can relate to, but it just felt like we can't mess this up because it's so universal. Whether you're a parent or a sibling, or you have a domineering boss, there should be an in for you, you know, and you should be able to relate to this movie.
You mentioned Alec Baldwin. I just can't imagine anyone else doing it.
There wasn't anyone else doing it. We wouldn't be here if Alec didn't do it, but I had no one as a backup. And he was the first choice for me instantly. As soon as I saw Marla Frazier's baby in a suit, she's like, Alec has to do this voice. And he is skilled beyond belief, having worked with him before on Madagascar 2, as you know, and he just knows where the comedy is, he knows where the heart is, and he's just a fantastic actor.
Without giving away too much, how would you explain the story?
I would say, you know, for any kid getting a baby brother and sister, they're worried that the baby's going to get all the love and they're going to be sidelined. And then that's the kid, Tim's worst fear. You know, as we all learn with family, that sometimes they're your worst enemy and best friend, and it's a story about how we grow to love each other and how we become family.
And the Boss Baby, who's your main character, there's an arc in him, or at least we as spectators see him differently at the beginning than how we learn to value him maybe later on. That was important, right?
Yeah, I think it's the overall arc of family, and that's the personal story to me, because my brother and I were very antagonistic. We didn't like each other at times, and we did at other times, and we grew past that as we grew into adulthood, and you appreciate your differences, because they say, you know, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, and that's what family is. You know, you're stronger together because you each bring something to the table, and it's a story between my brother and myself, and Tim and Boss Baby.
Can you talk a bit about the images that we're seeing, because they do have a classic style that remind me a bit of Chuck Jones?
Yeah, there's Chuck Jones in there, and I think there's Ward Kimball in there, and Maurice Noble. These are names I'm throwing out that were, you know, animation stars of the 40s and 50s and 60s, and we're at an age with computer animation where you can do realistic really well, but we've kind of lost our you know, the art and the imagination of it and the enchantment of it. And we kind of grew up with these movies, as you know, and we're trying to go back to that because it should transport you to a fantastic world, you know, and animation is unlike, we should celebrate that animation is different than live action, that it's artistically driven, and when we have a story about a 7-year-old's imagination, let's push it. Let's push the art, let's push the fantasy of it, and so we kind of looked back at our history to move forward.
And DreamWorks also has now, I guess, a history of doing things differently to other studios too. Everything from the stories to the characters to the look, it's special at DreamWorks.
Yeah, I think, and that's what I love about the studios. Every film can look different. How to Train Your Dragon can look different from Madagascar, and you know, even if you look at the old Disney movies, like, you know, Snow White looks very much different from Sleeping Beauty, and you know, I think every story needs to find its voice, not only story-wise but also visually, because if not, all animation is going to look the same, and we're starting to see that. So, for animation to flourish, you know, any new directors are going to find they're going to have to find original stories and original styles, because people want to see stuff they've never seen before. And so hopefully we've done that with The Boss Baby.